What up, you guys? In this video we'll talk performance, talk about what a typical Tuesday day in my life looks like, and then talk about shit. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know, but we'll come up with some shit. It is currently 11:42. I got quite a bit of work done. I woke up at like 6:35. Woke up, worked on choosing a product. Like I told you guys yesterday, I do product researches on Monday. I validated a bunch of products, at least like 5 to 7. Then I would narrow it down to 3. The way I did that is I just looked at the one with the most content online and the one that had like the least competition, the one I thought I could out compete. And after that, I was waiting to get cogs back from my supplier because a lot of the cogs that I was seeing AliExpress looked very, very high, and I thought honestly there's no way it could be that high. So I got that shit back this morning, actually before I even turned on the camera. So the cogs were way lower than I thought, or what I saw on AliExpress. So all those products are a go. This morning I got the landing page created. I actually did it myself. I don't usually do my landing page, but I want to bang it out ASAP. I didn't want to wait another day, so I took like 30 minutes, put that shit out, quick things. I should have used AI, but I wanted to like make it kind of saucy. It didn't take that long. I already have the template, so I put that shit out. Looked at some team chats, and yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now. It's 11. We did a little other shit, little tasks and shit here and there. Looking at the creatives my editor made, like little admin tasks like that. But nevertheless, though, we now have the main task of the day to do, which is working on creatives. And creatives, I'm not gonna lie, is a big part of my week. Like Tuesday, Wednesday is mostly focused on creatives, and it takes basically the most amount of time of all the tasks I do throughout the week, just because it's so heavy, and it's so like something that you can't neglect. Like you have to actually put time into it. First you have to do the research, then you have to actually build them out. Getting them built out isn't the issue. It's usually just the research that you have to do behind, and the amount of creators that you have to be pushing out. Because I have the first brand, I gotta push out a good amount of creators. Then the new brand that I'm starting right now, I gotta make sure the brand is looking solid. So that's kind of how it looks like. Most of my day today, again, is going to be creatives. What I'm going to be doing today is going to be customer research, just to understand who the consumer is. And how I am going to do this is essentially just go on, pull up the sheet. So where is the sheet? But where's the sheet? What the fuck? What's wrong with the sheet? The sheet is cooked. Oh, okay, bad. So essentially what I do is I first find a link for my product on Amazon. I find like YouTube videos, I find Reddit, I find viral videos, and I basically take all the reviews and throw it on a Google Doc. Once I put all the reviews in a Google Doc, I throw it into ChatGPT. I tell ChatGPT, hey, these are all the reviews for whatever product I'm running. Then I tell it to analyze it, understand it, and basically, understand what's going on. After that, I ask ChatGPT to give me what the main unique value proposition is, the mass desire, the benefits, the features, the pain points, the purchase prompts, the desired outcome, the field solutions, the objectives, or the objections, sorry. And then I asked ChatGPT to give me 5 of each, and asked ChatGPT as well to rank them the ones that's mentioned the most frequently for each section, as well as putting reference points like brackets, how many times each have been mentioned, so that I understand what is the most important aspect of the product. And in doing this, it makes the creative process very, very simple, because if you don't understand who you're targeting, or you're not targeting a specific audience, you're basically targeting no one. Like you don't want to be just talking in general, like just being in general. You want to be targeting to one specific persona when you're doing marketing. So in doing that, I just finished finding research. I have all the info on ChatGPT, and the next step now is to find competitors and see what the competitors are doing. My process looks like this. I go on the competitors' ads, I look at what they're doing, I throw it into a Google Doc, and I basically analyze what framework they're using. If they're using like a hook problem, product intro, or hook problem, bad alternative, whatever framework they're really using, I look at it, throw it onto my doc, and just analyze it and see how I can make it better, because this framework's already working. But sometimes when you look at these creatives, you find out that they aren't actually talking about the right benefits in their ad, and their ad still does well. You might realize that the benefit that they mentioned first is actually the least mentioned benefit on the Amazon reviews or all the research you do. So in your ad, you might switch it up and put the most mentioned benefit first, and you might just switch up the pain point. You just might switch up everything about the ad, but still keeping the framework the same, still targeting the same target audience, and that's how you should be able to outcompete your competition, because your ads are more targeted than theirs while still saying the same message, if that makes sense. And I also forgot to mention as well, with the ChatGPT prompt, you also want to ask ChatGPT for 3 to 4 personas, just so it understands what age roughly, the awareness level, understand what characteristics, like shit like that, like a bunch of other stuff that you have to kind of understand. And this process that I'm talking about, I got it from Anthony. I shouted him out in my other video. Anthony, this Asian dude, but it's a very, very great process that takes about 20 to 30 minutes, not really too long, because you're using AI to do most of it. The most like time consuming part is the creative process, and realistically you can just get an editor to do that. Your job though is to make sure that the script you make is as solid as possible, because that's the most important thing. And with this style of creative research, you're able to even make statics that print. Like a lot of that last test I did, the ad that did the best before I turned off the product, just because it wasn't doing as well as I wanted it to do, was static. Static was literally printing the most simple static as possible, but it was talking to the target audience so well that it outperformed the competitor ad that I basically used as inspiration. So it's just important for you guys to understand, do your due diligence with the creatives, even if you're testing. I'm not telling you to go source your own UGC. I'm not telling you to go out and rip your creatives one-to-one either, but just find a middle ground where you can use the content online to just make a more improved creative. Because a lot of times what you're going to find is that all your competitors are using the same ads, right? We all know this. You're using the same ads, your landing page is basically the same, everything you guys are doing is the same, the offer is the same. The only way you can differentiate yourself and see better performance is by having a better creative. So that means you're basically outbidding them, because your creatives are better, talking better to the audience, so your ads will be shown before theirs, and that's how you can outcompete them. But if you guys are using the same ads, how do you expect to see better performance than them, right? So if you just switch it up, make yours a bit superior, that's all you have to do. Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, you just have to make your shit a little bit better. Come on, you can do it, and then you should be able to outcompete the competition. Like, there'll be cases where you can rip one-to-one creatives, but a lot of the times you have to be the first one to really advertise that product for real. And other than that, there's gonna be competition, and chances are your competition ran the ads you ran. The only way for you to outcompete this competition is if you have a better offer in that specific case. But nevertheless, I'm going off a tangent. That's what my day is gonna look like after I come back from the gym. It's just working solely on creatives and making sure my creatives are solid, and I can really put out the best creatives as possible. Yo, I'm back. Just got done submitting some products into ClickUp for my web dev. Like I told you guys, I don't typically do my own landing pages, so today was just kind of, I want to get the shit up as quick as possible. I'm trying to get the shit up tomorrow, so I just did it real quick. But nevertheless, I like to kind of delegate tasks like that don't necessarily take that long to do, or basically anybody can do it. I like to delegate things like that just to free up my mind, so I'm able to focus on things that matter, like creatives, media buying. And that's basically the most important parts of
the puzzle when you're looking to first scale up to 100K a month. Now, right now I'm driving to the gym, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about how performance was looking yesterday for the first brand. For the first brand yesterday, we were at a blended ROAS of like 3 point, I don't know, 3 point something. I'm gonna get to a light and I'll show you guys if it stays red. But basically, performance is looking very, very good for the day yesterday. So I went ahead and increased that shit 20%. Total spend is looking at 518 for the first brand, and we'll see how far we can push it. I don't know how far we'll be able to push that budget, but we'll see if we can push the limit to, I don't know, maybe 1K days, maybe. But oh, the return was even better than I thought. As you guys can see, 376, $700 in net profit yesterday at a blended ROAS of 3.76. So we got some pretty healthy profits yesterday, very, very healthy. And that's why I told you guys that I was looking to scale a bit down just to, get better cash flow into that business. Because again, I said this multiple times, I reiterated yesterday, I think, or the last few videos, but I don't want to just have low profits and high revenue. It makes no sense. At the end of the day, profit is king. So for that specific brand, that goal is just to continuously pump out as many creative, quality creatives as possible to see how far we can push the limit. If we do hit a ceiling where we can't scale necessarily too hard, and that's okay. We'll look to add better creatives. If creatives isn't the solution anymore, then we'll look to add another collection of products into the ad account to scale that way. So it's either we're scaling per product or scaling per creatives for this specific, right now anyways, for that brand, it's just about creatives and seeing how far we can push the limits. So nothing too crazy there. Again, the goal here is to operate as many brands as we can. Honestly, with the current team we have, the team is pretty lean. We don't got that many people on there. It's just me, VA, editor, somebody managing the VA, email marketing, and then everyone else at that point after that is basically a freelancer. The team isn't that big. We do want to potentially build the team up a little bit. We don't want to make it too bulky though. I want it to be very, very lean as possible. But that's kind of like the dream team when you are first scaling up to 100K a month with, and even honestly up to 30K, 50K a month. That's all you really need. You might not need a manager for your customer service VA, but you will need a VA, that's for sure. The moment you start getting consistent sales, stop doing your own emails. That shit starts taking a toll on you mentally, and it makes you not want to scale because you don't want to answer a lot of emails. Like for me personally, when I first started scaling up, doing 1K days with my first brand, bro, like I was scared to even scale because I was like, bro, I don't even want to answer 10 emails. Like imagine I have 50 emails to answer. Like that like gave me like I was scared of that shit. I didn't want to answer a lot of emails. As soon as you get the VA, you're able to free up your mind to understand, okay, it's a subconscious thing. Like you start thinking, okay, now I can do more revenue, and then yeah, you start learning how to manage people and shit like that. So hire your VA when you start getting consistent sales immediately. Like what am I saying? The most emails I've ever seen, like in a day, was like 300, like peak Q4. And imagine you're answering 300 emails a day by yourself. Like, bro, you don't have time to do shit like that. Like doing 20 emails a day takes like damn near, it can take 2 hours. Imagine you're doing 300. That's gonna take 8 hours a day. Like, bro, that's not worth your time. So as soon as you see a bit of momentum, you need to just be able to start looking at what you can delegate. I'm not saying to get a whole big team in the beginning. It doesn't make sense. But once you start getting some profits in, definitely get a VA. Fuck around and get an editor, probably like 50K a month. But the editor isn't going to be the solution to you having bad scripts, the editor is literally just to edit. Like, some people think they can just outsource everything to the editor. That's not the case unless you train them well. And understand when you hire somebody that sometimes the first person you hire is going to be shit. Sometimes the person you hire is not, it's not that they're bad, it's that your training sucks. And you have to be able to be self-conscious enough to understand that you're starting to, you know, manage people for the first time. And you need to understand that you don't know how to manage people properly, and you need to always check in with these people, because people are gonna fuck up. People are, at the end of the day, we're human. And if you're hiring people sometimes from those parts of the world, like the Philippines, sometimes you like to cut corners, sometimes they might fuck you over. Sometimes there's horror stories where the VA will even try to steal money from customers and scam. So you have to be on top of every type of you need to be on top of everything when you have a, you know, a new member, especially in the beginning, because you want to make sure you're doing everything up to your standards and make sure everything is being done very, very well. And how you do this is just having an SOP, a standard operating procedure, and that's just you writing down the process that you're doing. So I guess it's like a better segue of hiring, and it's just you understanding how to do the tasks you're hiring for before you hire out. Like, for me personally, if it comes to web development, it comes to creators, finding creators, making creatives, doing emails, like, I've done all these shit in the ecom game. So if I'm hiring somebody, I'm able to kind of tell if they're giving me bullshit, if they know what they're doing. And that's kind of just what you need to understand before you start hiring. Like, if you've never done the task before and you start hiring out, then I'm not gonna lie to you, you're gonna get fucked, you're gonna get finessed. You're not gonna be knowing you're getting finessed until you're out of all your money. So yeah, I don't know why I went on the side tangent about hiring, but hopefully maybe this benefits any of you guys that are in this ecom shit. And yeah, I hope it does. I'm almost at the gym right now. I feel like this whole video, honestly, today was the biggest yaps ever. But let me know if you guys got some value from this video. And I'll catch y'all after the gym. What up, y'all? Just got done at the gym. Did some back. Felt really, really good. Now I'm pumped for today, so I want to grab the camera and talk to you guys about inputs versus outputs, and kind of what you have to look for or kind of track when you are starting your e-commerce journey. Because a lot of times we get over kind of, what's the word, over consumed about the actual result that we want to do, and don't really look at what the inputs are to achieve these results. So let's give an example. If you know you want to hit, let's say, your first 30K a month, then okay, you want to do 30K a month. Understand that for you to do 30K a month, you will need to spend at least $15,000 for that specific month. And if you break that down, it's $15,000 for that specific month. What is that? $15 divided by 30. That means you need to spend roughly $500 a day with your ads to do 1K a day to be able to do 30K a month. If that is the case, what type of products, or what type of, not even that, yeah, what type of products, what type of creatives can you put into your ad account to be able to spend that amount to hit the goal that you want to go? It's really not that complicated. A lot of people try to overcomplicate it and look at a lot of other metrics that don't necessarily matter. Like, just looking at your revenue and saying, oh fuck, I'm not hitting 30K a month, isn't going to do anything for you. Just break down literally every single thing that you need to do to be able to hit that. For, again, an e-commerce store specifically, you want to do 30K a month. Okay, what's the first step that you need to do? The first step that you need to do is find a product. Once you find a product, okay, what's next? So next step is to build the website. Okay, what's the next step? Make the creatives. Okay, cool. What's the next step? Build the site. You have to break it down that simply to be able to understand what's next. After that, it's to advertise. How much do I have to spend? $500 per day. Okay, I'm gonna start off $100 a day. My goal is to get to $500 a day, and in doing that, you understand that you need to get creatives that are good enough to be able to spend up to $500 a day. It's just about you doing what you need to do on a daily basis. Once you get your store up and running, you're gonna start realizing, okay, I can't rely on one batch of creatives. You're gonna start making creatives every single day, and you put on your to-do list, I need to make a batch of creatives every single day. Or if your product flops, you'll be like, damn, I need to test products every single day, and just build off your schedule that way. So let's say you are still in the testing phase. You want to put a specific day for product research, a specific day to build your store, a specific day to build your creatives, a specific day to launch, a specific day to analyze performance, and just build off that way. Or you can do all of it in one day, but you just want to make it as easy as possible for you to just build consistency and just compound your knowledge over time to do what you want to do. And this even works at the bigger scale. Once you start scaling, it's all about just doing what you're doing before, but doing it at a higher level, doing it at a better scale, and maybe even start delegating some of the tasks off. A lot of the shit that I realized, honestly, this year is that what you did to get to one part, sometimes it's not even, let's say you're at 30K a month, to get to 100K a month, it isn't necessarily about changing anything up. It's really just honing on and doubling down on what you've already been doing. So if you were able to get to 30K a month, obviously depending on the market, depending on the product, and depending on a lot of different factors, but let's just say this is an evergreen product that has a good enough demand. If you're able to get 30K a month, if you're able to hone on to the creatives and be able to find good creatives and get a good system to get those creatives out, you should be able to push to potentially 3K days and build off there and see what you need to do to scale forward. And it's all about compounding and do what you need to do. Of course, a lot of this shit takes time, and that's the issue that a lot of people will kind of have. Like, even for me right now, I'm testing products on a new store. I know what I need to do, but it just takes time. Like, it takes time for me to test these products out, because at the end of the day, you don't know what product is going to be the product that kind of, takes off and is the product that you will be able to brand further down the line. It's all about testing. It's a testing game, but you just have to put in the reps in, do what you need to do on a daily, and just continuously get better and just focus on the inputs. Do you want to test one product a week? Do you want to test 2 products a week, 3 products a week, make 3 batches of creatives a week, 5 creative batches a week? Just understand what you want to do, break it down, like I said way earlier, and just work off that way. Inputs is what is going to get you to your results. It's not about obsessing about the revenue number, because that's not going to do anything for you in the long run. You looking at 30K a month saying, damn, I wish I could do that, is it going to do anything for you? Just put it on the doc, put it on your notes, put it on a notepad, whatever. Break that shit down and understand how you're going to be able to do that. And when you break it down, you start to understand the shit isn't necessarily difficult. It's just that there's missing pieces that you have to fill out, and missing pieces of the puzzle that you have to essentially solve. That's kind of all it is, really. We're problem solvers at the end of the day. You have to plug in what needs to be done in the equation to be able to get the results that you want. Again, for me right now, new store I'm starting. What do I need right now? I need to find a new product. The whole system, the whole framework of what we're trying to do is already kind of set in stone. I know what I need to do. I have it down on the dock. I know how to scale. I know how to make creatives, but right now we're missing that piece in the puzzle, and that's a product that is worth scaling. That's what you need to find out. That's what you need to identify, and that's what you need to understand in terms of kind of looking into what inputs make sense. So right now, that's why my week looks like Monday, I'm looking into product research, and I'm looking to test a product every single week, get creatives made every single week for the new store, launch it every single week, and just be able to do that. And in doing that, I'll test, let's say I test, or let's just say you guys an example, whatever, it doesn't even matter who it is. You'll test maybe 20 products, maybe a couple of them get sales, but they're not necessarily a huge winner. Cool, whatever. Now you know what works, what doesn't work. You learn it in that process, and in doing that, you're getting better. And in the end, you'll be able to find one product, hopefully by the end of the year, honestly, way before that, hopefully, that you can brand and scale to whatever desirable amount that you want. So it's just like a little piece of note for one, myself. because it's easy to get overconsumed by the results, being like, damn, why am I not hitting these type of results? But understand that you're not hitting those results because maybe your inputs are out of whack. You're not hitting the KPIs of the results. Like, I want to do, let's say, 100K a month. We're not spending $1,500 a day. We're not, you know? How do I expect to hit those results if we're not hitting $1,500 a day? What do we need to do to spend $1,500 a day on a specific store? What do we need to do? Or across multiple stores, what do we need to do? And then you start asking yourself these type of questions, and then you solve that way and understand, I'm not doing this, or I need this product, or I need this creative, I need this, that, and you just work off that way and scale that way. That's how you kind of, have to be thinking about shit with this e-com or stuff. But nevertheless, that's kind of what I got going on for you guys. A little bit of, I don't know, game sauce, motivation. Not really sauce, really. Nothing too crazy. Just kind of, honestly, a lot of things that a lot of people know, but until you hear it, really, you don't really put it into perspective for yourself. So just wanted to put that into perspective for you guys. Right now, I'm about to head home, get some work in. We're going to start working on the, what do you call it? We're going to work on the creatives for basically the rest of the day. Get a little bit media buying on, nothing too crazy. Honestly, we just launched new creatives, so if we hit our KPIs, we might increase the CBO by 20%. If not, we'll just rock and not do much. But the whole point of today is just creatives, and we might do a little bit of other things. Well, not a little bit. We might, we're going to look at any chats that we have, any messages that we have to answer. We also will look at, I don't even remember, bro. Like, again, the most important thing for Tuesdays is really just creative. So what else do we got going on? We have, we got gym. We got, hold up, I'm still driving. Yeah, like there's nothing too crazy. Some of them are just little tasks, checking in with a team member, checking if we have balances on the top up. Yeah, to be honest, pay cogs, like it's nothing too crazy. Creative is going to be majority of the day, and yeah, to be honest, that's what it is. Creatives, media buying, and that's about it. And another thing too as well for me is I like to focus my days on one specific task, because I don't like to kind of like neglect the task in a way, because if I know I have to like rush the shit, then I don't want to necessarily rush it. But at the same time, if I finish early, then I'll move on into the next task. Like if I bang out 10 creatives today, then I'll launch it. I won't wait till the next day. But if I'm still working on the creatives, if I'm still working on the research, then I won't necessarily force it. I'm looking just to kind of perfect the craft in a way, but I don't want to be in the, situation where you're just over analyzing shit and taking too much time to launch shit. So between like finding a product and launching, it usually takes me anywhere from 24 to 48 hours for the most part. Sometimes it takes a bit longer, but again, I like to take a bit of time with it, just a little bit. But nevertheless, now I'm really yapping. This video again has been a whole yap sesh. Appreciate anybody that's watched this video to the end. We're all gonna win at the end of the day. If you made it this far to the video, I appreciate you guys. We will win. If you haven't started your business, start that business. If you're in your journey, I appreciate you guys and proud of you guys for starting your journey. Let's win the week, let's win the day, let's win the year, and again, let's fucking win, guys. We're all winners. We all deserve this shit. We all deserve to take care of our families, and it's only a matter of time we see success, boys. It's only a matter of fucking time. Again, y'all are all my niggas. Appreciate y'all, and catch y'all in the next video.